Over-the-Rhine went from the highest crime neighborhood in America to now they write stories about it in national publications about what a great urban environment it is, and that does my heart good.
Former Mayor Charlie LUKEN could not have predicted a $1.6 billion response when he called on local corporate leaders to help him rebuild Cincinnati's urban core after the civil unrest of 2001. But that's what came with the formation of 3CDC. The Cincinnati Center City Development Corporation is a nonprofit which built more than 2,000 housing units and 17 acres of civic space since 2004. But the work is not complete. WCPO 9 I-Team reporter Dan Monk took a walking tour with OTR, that is, with 3CDC's president and CEO Steve Leeper to show us what has been done so far and what lies ahead.
Producer Kick Lee created this music 4 years ago.
That's actually one of my most licensed pieces of content.
It's about Cincinnati through the eyes of a superhero.
I love creating music that's inspiring, that's uplifting, and A City's Call helps depict that.
But life isn't always inspiring, not for cities and not for Lee himself. During Cincinnati's year of civil unrest, sparked by the police shooting death of 19-year-old Timothy Thomas, Lee was a 13-year-old foster child who frequently caught the bus to Over-the-Rhine so he could visit his mentally ill mother.
Visiting her, coming down here, it was not safe.
Lee would ride to Government Square and walk to a Tender Mercy shelter on Ray Street, where his mom was a fixture on the front stoop across from Washington Park.
I was nervous, but unbeknownst to me, folks already knew me because they knew my mom.
20 years later, Lee runs the Cincinnati Music Accelerator. It's based on 13th Street, 2 blocks from where Thomas was shot and 3 blocks from Washington Park.
The primary partners we work with are all around us.
One of those partners is the Cincinnati Center City Development Corp, or 3CDC. It's transforming OTR under the leadership of Steve Leeper.
20% of our street level retail is owned by African-American owned businesses.
On a walking tour of 13th Street, Leeper pointed to various 3CDC changes while emphasizing the diversity that remains.
The idea was to not make this all homogeneous neighborhood, and I think if you look around here, it's anything but.
Before and after shots show how 3CDC changed the face of OTR. $800 million in investments, 900 condos or apartments, 13 acres of reimagined public space starting with Washington Park.
Oh no! They found me!
I genuinely feel that this is what people wanted, which was a public space that everybody could enjoy, that everyone felt welcome to.
But is it for everyone?
A lot of the minority community in general cannot afford to live down here.
A 2015 study by Xavier University's Community Building Institute found Over-the-Rhine lost nearly a third of its lowest income housing since 2002. That's nearly 2,400 places where the poorest Cincinnatians can no longer look for a place to live.
The very definition of gentrification.
Josh Spring is executive director of the Greater Cincinnati Homeless Coalition.
Around Washington Park, at least 50% of Black people that were there a decade before are no longer there.
Leeper says Over-the-Rhine actually has nearly 1,400 affordable housing units, 445 of them built with its help in the last 5 years.
We can always do more, and for the units that we have, we need to upgrade them. We need to improve the management. We need to do services. We need employment.
Lee says yes to all of that and more.
Take more time to spark conversations with people different than you. That's what I would do. That don't look like you, that don't dress like you, that don't smell like you.
Dan Monk, WCPO 9 I-Team.